Hey, my fellow health seekers. I would love to speak to you today about something that is genuinely at the root of starting any kind of healthcare practice. And that is knowing your why. Why are you choosing whatever new habit to develop, new food choices to make, new doctors to work with, new exercise regimes? Why are you motivated to do those things? And if you dial in your why, I've seen it over and over again in the last couple of decades of working with people and myself. When you dial in your why, you can make it a lot easier to reach your goals. And actually, you end up with the life that you are choosing to have rather than kind of living by default. So part of one of my favorite things to make your life easier and to truly make that complex health journey a lot simpler is to dial in the why. And I ask everybody I work with to do this. And it is a rare day that I get somebody who really gives me a detailed oriented type of genuine, heartfelt response. Usually it's very superficial. It's the typical, I want to lose weight, I want to fit into a summer dress, or I want to, look great for a wedding, or I want to be here for my kids. I mean, it's not really that superficial, but it is superficial in that it doesn't give you or us the detail, the feelings, everything associated with it. So I want to talk a little bit about that and to see if I can inspire you to make some better decisions about how you write your why and how that evolves over time. So I have 4 must-haves in creating your why. And I've nailed this down for myself. I do this all the time. I'm always revisiting my why. And I hope that this will inspire you to do the same thing. So number 1, you want to have lots of detail in your why. So in order to do that, you want to set aside some time where you schedule, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes even, or half an hour, and you decide on what the categories of your life that you want to put focus into. And I mean, generally this is going to be, of course, health. It's going to be wealth. It's going to be relationships, and you can split that up in the different types of relationships that you have. It can be types of movement. It can be types of hobbies and experiences. It could be a career. So you label all that. It could be a page each, and then you sit down and you free write for each one. And that might be, 5 minutes, 10 minutes per one. And then leave it, okay? Just kind of let that marinate. And then another time you want to sit back and go, okay, how can I take each one of those categories and really give it like incredible descriptive words? You want detail. You want detail around, the images that each category inspires in you, that you would love to achieve, that you're capable of if you get the support and you focus on yourself. So you think about what that would look like. What would it smell like? What would it feel like? What are the feelings that it inspires? Is it happy bliss? Or is it just, contentedness? Or is it just, what society's expected of you or family has expected of you? What you've maybe expected of you all your life, instead of dreaming outside the box. There really is no box except what we make. So you think about all those sensations and you write down descriptive words about that. You don't have to be a poet or a writer to be able to do that. You just think of the words that really resonate with you. So that's number 1. Number 2, you want to involve all of those aspects. You want to make sure that you've nailed down all those categories, because your life is big and it can be grander than you ever even have thought. I don't care what age you are. You could be 89 and you can still dream big. And I'm a firm believer of that. But you need to know what you're going for. So you need to have those categories really laid out. Number 3, it must resonate deeply with you, right? Those words have to feel powerful to you. So much so that if you read them over and over, the images, the sensations, the feelings inside that those words bring up for you, it may be different for me than it is for you, but it brings up in you, have such layered meaning that your energy will have to go after it. It just has to, because that's what you're focusing on. And then number 4, you want to kind of set some timelines. So, if your first goal right now is to get inflammation down so that your brain fog is a lot healthier, Well, that's pretty easy to do. But it can be done within week to 2 weeks in most cases that I've seen. If you dial in a few other things like your food, like some of the other choices around sleep and movement, you know, the basics, what I call the easy way. And your timeline might be, this why is going to be achieved for this particular category in, you know, a month or in 2 weeks, or I'm going to nail it, you know, dial in my sleep because I know that's going to be up-leveling my life and increasing my health span. I'm going to have that dialed in within the next month and a half. Give yourself a little bit of don't overachieve, but also don't underachieve. Make sure that it's realistic, not what you think somebody else would think for you, but what you feel inside, what you believe. That is your timeline. And then you let it go. You say, yeah, that's my timeline. I think I can get there, but then you let it go. You'll probably get there. And you'll probably, if you have that written down and you know, and in a month and a half from now, you have a calendar notification that says, did you achieve your why? Even if you hadn't been really actively thinking about that timeline, but you were actively rereading your why, I bet you'll reach it and probably surpass it. That's how it's been for me. I've seen it for other people. I know it could do it. But I will tell you that it rarely will happen in a speedy fashion and a really easy to attain fashion unless you write it down, unless you say what it is, unless you really resonate with the words that you describe these categories of your life. Believe me, it's true. Now, I will say that, you know, there's different ways to express your why. So first, I'd like you to write it. I think the descriptions need to be there. I think you need to put pen or pencil to paper. But then you can get creative if you want to, or you can keep it like that, because we were different types of learners, right? So you could either, in a memo on your phone, on your smartphone, you can record, you know, what you've summarized for yourself, or you could write it out and have it as a screensaver. You take a picture of it and have it as a screensaver, or you could print it out and put it on your mirror that you look at every day, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. You can have it posted in front of your computer. You could, I don't know, you could put it on your wall. This is what I love. You could make a vision wall. And so that vision wall could be all those categories with the words that you use to describe them, cut out of magazines or printed out, and you just or you can use chalk pens like I do you can get chalk paper and you can just write it out in little images. So you have this beautiful array of something that's triggering you every single day whenever you look at that wall. It's one of my favorite things. But I would encourage you to think about how you could express that so that it becomes something that you're just seeing every day and you can't help but manifest what those things are. Now, the other creative thing that I would suggest doing is once you've sat down, you've made your categories, and then you sit down, you free write under each category and you come up with those words that are most powerful to you, then you want to take a little bit of time to summarize each category. Now, listen, this takes a little bit of time. Once you've done it the first time, though, it's easy to do further evolutions of this. I promise. But the first initial investment of time makes life easier in the long run. I swear to you, it does. So you take each category and you say, wow, that's a lot of free writing. It might be a whole page, you know, or 2, who knows? And then you say, well, what are the big words that stick out to me that give me the like a 10 out of 10 feeling? Or, you know, what are the 1 out of 10 that gives, you know, not so great a feeling? You get rid of those and you replace them with something else, or you just use the ones that are, you know, the high numbers. And then you start trying to make that into 1 or 2 sentences for each category. Then you compile all those, and that is your beautiful, fleshed out, authentic, goal-oriented, emotionally resonant why, energetically resonant why. And then, you know, maybe every couple of months, you can revisit and say, you know, do I need to up level, you know, some category, remove a category because I nailed it, or you know, I set my bar too low. And then you start realizing, wow, you know, I've done all these things and I'm feeling amazing, even with an autoimmune disease, even with complexities. And you say, I'm feeling amazing, so gosh, I can achieve more than I even thought I could. So just think about that. So the 4 things, remember, you want lots of detail with descriptive words. You want to involve all aspects of your life. So think of all the categories that really are meaningful to you. You want to resonate deeply with everything that you're writing. It's not just stuff that's from other people or society. It's stuff that you really want to have as this life. You remember the concept YOLO? You only live once? Maybe we do, but what if we do? And embrace that and genuinely go for what you genuinely want. And then you set timelines. And then you just do it. And if you want me to take a look at it, share it in the group or private message me. I'll take a look at it. But I encourage you to do this because it is, I would say, the number one thing that makes people move the needle when it comes to starting a new approach to healthcare. We can make this easy. It's been overcomplicated. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You can still feel amazing by doing the beginning, getting to the root issues, getting to the fundamentals of what your body is resonating, what nature has already built in our bodies and we're just disconnected from. So start with your why. I'd love to hear in the comments, what that might mean for you and how you'd like to jazz yours up, or maybe you do a vision wall or a vision book or a vision page or whatever you do. Do it. Just do it. It will make your life so much easier. I hope that was helpful. Take care.